I have so many trailers that I want to watch, but I can only do them about a couple, 3 at a time. Just because, a lot of times I got to get back to work. And, I can't always get back around to it in the same day. If I didn't have anything else to do, I would just watch these trailers much of the day. But it doesn't work like that, so I have to make time. So I'm having a little coffee break right now. I'm going to go ahead and watch the first trailer that I've got lined up to try to check out on my break. And this one's called The Last Thing He Wanted. It's got Anne Hathaway and Ben Affleck in it, and it's a Netflix movie. I'm not sure at all what it's about, but seeing this shot right here makes me think it might have something to do with the journalism or something. I mean, I don't know. It looked to me, based on the thumbnail, that it was probably like a character drama or something. Not generally my favorite, like I've already said, but I'm curious enough to check it out. So let's do that now.
Some real things have happened lately.
Okay.
I want to know why.
That was unexpected.
The reporter with a moral compass.
Right.
Always a step ahead.
That's a rare thing.
She's sourced up and in print.
These people are starting to move surplus arms to Contras. We can't just look away.
Munition shipping crates for M16s, most likely. He's the old man.
Dad.
Oh, him. I had a feeling it was going to be someone she knew.
My dad is into something. I'm gonna come down there. Don't. I want to track it from this end.
Purpose of your visit to Costa Rica?
Vacation.
Looks like you're waiting for somebody.
I think you.
Everything is here.
This whole operation's gonna blow up in somebody's face. You boys figure it.
No one's been able to get a read on this guy. All we do know about him is when he shows up. It's usually the end of something, not the beginning.
Where do you find this?
How did you find me?
If you had to pick a reporter capable of tracking a load of munitions in South America, wouldn't you pick you?
Think you're gonna get very far?
Get out of the car.
You could have got on a plane and left this place.
In a perfect world, we make perfect choices. In the real world, we make real choices.
Oh, let me go back and look at that. Sorry to interrupt, but there's nothing more beyond this, really. It said that this was based on a book. So the whole time I'm watching this, I was a little distracted in my mind by trying to figure out if this was based on a real story, if this was based on, like, let's say the Iran-Contra thing that happened back in the 80s when Reagan was president. And that was only because of what they mentioned at the beginning about something about funneling money and something about to Contras. And so that was my first thought. Excuse me. So I was expecting at any moment for something to come up on the screen about this being a true story or based on a true story or based on true events, because if a movie is, or, whatever, they like to highlight that because that is certainly a point of interest for a lot of people, I think. If they see something and, there's some truth to this, now I'm a little more curious. With me, a lot of times it's the opposite. With me, it's like, I'd rather just read what the real thing was. But anyway, I've gone into that before. That's just me. But I'm thinking that this is not based on a true story. It's just like a political type thriller, sort of suspense, My dog takes this moment to scratch her back on the carpet, and she's just making all sorts of noises while she does it. This dog's crazy. She's just rubbing herself on the carpet. That's all she's doing. You think she's like fighting or playing tug of war or something. Tibby, you're crazy. Okay. What was I even saying? Gosh, I got distracted. Yeah, I was saying that it doesn't look like this is something that's based on a true story. Just a fiction story. I'm I'm interested. I'm very intrigued by the premise here. I'm wondering if things are going to end up okay for the protagonist or not. Can't really quite figure out Ben Affleck's character, like if he's supposed to be the protagonist. I'm thinking so, but it's not 100% clear to me. Jimmy. You crazy thing. Okay. Gosh, I'm going to have a lot of edits. Okay. So the trailer itself was pretty well paced, in my opinion. It comes in at about 1:44 to get to this screen. So pretty fluid, pretty efficient. We've got a decent idea of the story, even though I still am not quite sure about Ben Affleck, but I don't think that's important. I don't think you're supposed to completely understand all of those elements anyway. But I certainly understand enough to, know what the premise is, what the setup is, and synopsis, whatever. So, don't recall it. Did they give a date? Yes, here's the date. I see it. I jumped forward. I saw it right here. February 21st. Okay, yes, I'll be checking this out for sure. It's so fascinating that Netflix is just pulling all of these big name actors more and more and more to doing films that are just going to be on a streaming platform. So that's interesting to me. I like that they're doing this sort of thing. It certainly is a draw for a lot of people, I think, when you have these, big names attached to these films that aren't even going to be on the big screen. This would not be enough to draw me to the big screen, though, even if it came out. Now, sometimes Netflix does make their movies and then they put them on the big screen. Like the first time that happened that I remember, it wasn't the first time it happened. It was just the first, I guess it wasn't. It was just the first time I was aware it had happened. And that was when we went to go see The Hitman's Bodyguard. I did not know at the time that was a Netflix film. And then I found out right after I'd seen it. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. That actually, they put that on theater, on the big screen. It was available on Netflix. Oh my gosh. You think I haven't slept enough, but I did. Had fine sleep last night. I forgot what I was saying. Oh my gosh. I know what I was going to say. I was going to say, you would think that they would have just put it straight up on Netflix first, but they didn't. I don't believe that they did. I think it hit the big screen first, but very, very quickly was followed up on Netflix. So, I guess they just kind of pick and choose what they want to throw up there on the big screen because it's, it's not like it's cheap. But, okay. So, can't think of anything more to add. I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. Bye.